So I'm glad that some people coming on now. We like I say we had a problem early in the show, and a lot of people. Somebody just came on the phone. Who do we have on the phone? Hello. Who do we have on the conference call line? All right. Well, somebody came on for a minute, but anyway, so we was talking about some very powerful subjects. Maybe that's why Facebook started having problems. You have a lot of problems getting us through. We was talking about some heavy issues. We was talking about the hangings. We were talking about black women getting a 65-year-old black woman getting dragged from a car. We was talking about a woman being molested and rubbed on and felt on, and just literally her clothes taken off and dragged around the floor over there in Waffle House. So we talked about a lot of things earlier that was very important, and I'm sorry that we had these problems and everything. We had Jay Johnson, some other people online that were listening in. If you're hearing me again, or all y'all that ran off and won't answer my phone calls, hey, come on back, because we're going to do a few more minutes of this, and then we're going to call it early night, right? And also, again, for those that didn't hear me earlier, because we had problems with distortion and everything, again, to Brother Darrell Farmer in Milwaukee, power to the people, brother. I mean, that was real strong what you did, and I wish more of us do that. Going up in those department stores, telling them, or Waffle House, telling them they can't be talking to our women like that. It's unacceptable. We're not going to put up with it. Now, you know what happens if it's a Caucasian woman, and she just alleged, make these calls like somebody's sleeping in there, a black person sleeping in there, so, a black person sleeping in there, so you got to come out here. Or a guy's barbecuing, and I don't want him to barbecue there, so y'all come out there and run him off because I'm a white person. And I deserve to be treated exactly the way I want to be treated, and run these colored folk off because they're interfering with my peace. Just seeing them disturbs me. They have designed for us to be criminals. They look at us like criminals. They're treating us like criminals. So therefore, if you're an intelligent person that you see a criminal and you want to eradicate that criminality, then you should assassinate them, kill them, destroy them, drag them off the streets. That's how they're looking at us, as terrorists, as criminals. And when one of them go out and kill a whole bunch of people, 50 people in Las Vegas, 54 people in Las Vegas, kids down in Parkland, Florida, all like that, right? All of a sudden, they're mentally disturbed. We need to change the laws to help them so they're mentally disturbed. When a black person go out there and accidentally shoot somebody, that low down life criminal, and it was wrong. Don't get me wrong now. It ain't right for hurting and killing nobody, innocent life and all that. And especially us killing us, you know what I mean? Hey, what is wrong with that picture? Why you killing your own people, man? Ain't nothing gangster about that. Ain't nothing gangster. You ain't impressing nobody. You just making us, looking like a fool. That's all it is, So we need to stand up for ourselves. We need to stand up for our rights. We need to fight hard, And like Darrell Farmer up there in Milwaukee, that's what it's all about. We need to start kicking down some of these doors. What about Waffle House? We need to go to that Waffle House headquarters and say, this can't happen again. What we want you to do, we might give you a break. You shut that one. That's got to have an end game. Yeah, we protest and Miss Bernice King. You got to have an end game. You just can't go in there just like, taking control of things, which you deserve the right to be a part of that, right? Like every woman deserves to be a right to be part of that. But what's the end game? Shut it down, tear it down, close it down, burn it to the ground. That's what the end game. They say, listen, we don't even want that place there no more. Build another Waffle House. And then, God's sake, fire those people, don't never bring them back, to be in there and have a policy about dealing with situations like that don't concern anybody. People come in and get shot up in the Waffle House, drive-by shooting. A Caucasian gentleman, before that other incident, drove by up there in Tennessee, Antioch, Tennessee, I think it was. He drove by that Waffle House, right, and he started shooting black people. The only thing that saved the rest of them or caused them not to be killed was this young black man took it upon the president and got involved and tackled that murderer. You know what I mean? It caused him to drop his gun and run off and everything and then get captured, right? But, he ain't no terrorist. He's mentally deranged and mentally disturbed is what they got. They got the program for him. But let one of you do something like that to somebody white. They're going around saying, look how these white people getting killed by black people. Oh, it's so many of them getting killed by black people, and we ain't killing a whole lot. I was down there at the Essence Festival. Yeah, who just came on the line, right? Hey, Marcus Gaither. Yeah. Well, we had problems early on this show and everything, so now we got it all fixed and all like that. And I'm glad that there's some people coming on. And don't forget the call-in line, right? So you can be a part of that. And the call-in line is, and somebody, Chrissy was so ashamed. She abandoned me, Chrissy. You can't be doing that. We're going to run off and leave me in the battle, stuff like that. Bring your butt on. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, conference call line number is 605-475-4935. Excess code is 459958. Let me kind of type that in and everything. Oops, I'm making a lot of noise here. We got a lot of things going on here. Anyway, so hey, let everybody know that I'm back on air. I want to be on air just for a few more minutes, right? And as always, we talk about a lot of serious subjects that affect us. Not in, I ain't talking about Sacramento. I'm not talking about New York. I'm not talking about right now. I'm not talking about, other places, right? What about Atlanta? How come nobody talks about Atlanta? What's going on in Atlanta? What's up with that? Why did we go talk about a guy that got, which is very important. Now, don't get me wrong. People have been horribly treated by police officers all over the world and all this country. But now let me tell you something. Did y'all know about a young man, I think it was August the 5th, 2016, was shot 76 times. 76 times. And a lot of people tell me not to get too graphic. But, and I praise the mother. The gentleman's name was Jameer Robinson, right? And his mother's Montera Robinson. She has been fighting so hard, to get justice for her son that was shot 76 times. They shot the boy in hand. They say he had gun. They shot his hands like this here. They shot the boy, and they shot him 4 times when he was laying on the ground. He was on the ground. They shot him 4 times, 2 flashbang and grenades on him. I guess to try to cover up the evidence and all like that. They did a piss poor job for these officers, right? But they tried to do what they do. I'm having bad signal everything today. It's a mess here, but we're going to endeavor to persevere. 605-475-4935. Excess code number 459958. And I want y'all to call in and bear with me for a minute. Yeah, I'm just having a hard time every time I try to do something here. It seems to be lacking reception here. But anyway, call in. We'll talk more about it. I want to hear what y'all thinking about that. About this black woman getting dragged around the floor in Waffle House. This black woman this 65-year-old black woman up there in Marietta getting beat in a car. Next time, hey, Eva, how you doing? I'm glad you came on. And, hey, call the conference call line. I'm going to try to post that real quick so that we'll have it. And actually, we got it set up pretty good now. And let people know that, I'm still here trying to bite through. And everybody ran off and left me and deserted me. Punts to you. Punts to you. Fair weather friends, you know what I mean? But hey, I can understand. That's a conference call number, everybody. You can call in on that line. I can actually talk to you on this mic in my earphones now. So we got this thing straightened out, right? A little bit. Yeah, so, and the hangings, right? It just amazed me. And Brother AJ said earlier, how in the world that these people getting hung from a bridge and don't even investigate it. I mean, they come in there and that evening or the next day, so-and-so committed suicide hanging from the bridge up there in Morris Brown High School on Martin Luther King. And then a few days later, here we are down here in Old National Highway. Another woman's hanging, I think it was down at Walmart. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, down at Walmart down there. She hanging. It doesn't appear to be it doesn't appear to be a crime or passion or something like that. It doesn't appear to be, I don't know what they say, there doesn't appear to be anything that happened to her violently. So they ain't saying she committed suicide, but why would you even put that out there until you got all the facts? You know what I'm saying? Until you know what is going on. Why would you put some stupid stuff out there saying that it appears she was a victim of a violent crime or something like that? Some they say it's stupid like that. And the woman's hanging. Do you know, and then they're hanged by hanging ropes, right? And that is an art. You know, you just can't make up now I can do it. I've done it before. It's 13 knots and you put one knot to break the neck in, right? You know what I mean? It's a gruesome thing. But it's an art to do that, to make a knot, make a hanging knot like that, right? And then to say that, they did it to themselves. And I was like, why would you try to commit suicide? Like, do you know what? Hanging is horrible. You know what I mean? If they don't break your neck, right, when you're hanging from a place like that, right, it's strangling you. You know what I mean? Your eyes are bulging out. Your tongue is out your mouth. That's why some places they put masks over people's faces. Well, some of them other people, they like to see that, right? They like to see their eyes bulging out, the black person's eyes bulging out, tongue. They even had cartoons about that. A lot of people know what it was. That was about a black person getting hung, and they wouldn't know what that was. But that is horrible. Why are we not protecting our people? Why are we brothers and sisters out there, Black Panther brothers? How come we're not in our communities? Why are we still talking about unity? Why are we still talking about black economics? Why are they not producing economics? Why don't we produce economics in your black community? Build in your black community. So protect your black community, right? And our women going to these stores and being talked about and kicked out and tossed around, all power to the brothers up there in Milwaukee, brother Farmer, going in there straightening them folk out about some of our women. Man, it'd be nice we had people down there in Sutherland, Alabama, down in the Mobile, Alabama. Anyway, how come we have people down there that go in there and fight for that woman's rights in there, right, and shut it down? You know what I mean? Why are we even going around to these Waffle Houses? We don't have a program. Shut that Waffle House down, burn it up, tear it up, fire anybody, do better training and educating your people there at these Waffle Houses. End the story. Done deal. You know what I mean? And so the message is we ain't going to tolerate that. If it happens at a Walmart, we have to do the same thing, right? We have to be consistent. We have to be united. Let's do it where it happened at. You know what I mean? Let's tear it. Let's make sure it close it down. We don't even want it there no more. We don't even want the sight of it there no more. We want you to dig up the ground and everything. Anyway. So, like I said earlier, we had some problems and everything with our broadcasting and all like that. And I think that we're gonna wrap up. And we're going to wrap up. Okay. We can call in? All right. Yeah. All right, great. So we're going to be wrapping up in a little bit, but we're going to, talk some more about it. So it's good for men. It's good for us men and women to stand up for each other. There's nothing wrong with that. And why you worrying about, they going to call me a terrorist. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to tell you something, right? When they come in your neighborhood, right, just like, in our recent history, right? Well, of course, it was in the 20th century, 21st century. Some of y'all weren't even born then. But I think it was 1984 or around the 1980s, there's a group called MOVE, and they was trying to raise people awareness and, and start a community in their community that was going to be, safe and eat the right food and all this, right? And all of a sudden, they signed them on there, and they call them a threat. Now, these people they ain't shooting up nobody. They ain't doing no extortion or nothing like that. They ain't doing nothing but living their life as a community. Guess what? So somebody decided they can't get them out there. They're going to get them out there with an incinerator device. What? In a city? A incinerator device? And these are, y'all been to Philly. Y'all know these are town road homes, right? You know what I mean? So, just knowing that, right? And then they drop the summary advice, so they gonna burn these people out. It's men and women turning them, but they burned down a whole neighborhood. They burned down a whole block, people's homes, man, black people's homes. They didn't care. They just wanted one person or two or three people out the way. They didn't care how many they killed, and that happens all the time, So, and what's going on, Elder? Hey, it's about the revolution. The revolution has arrived. It is here. And it ain't being televised, because they going to televise that. They going to televise somebody running with a TV. They going to televise some poor dude with his pants hanging down, slapping his woman or something. That's what they going to televise. They going to televise people coming together, uniting in power. It's not going to be televised, They're not going to televise the truth. They're going to televise what they want you to see. They want you to be in an argument that you're a nobody, that you're a victim. They want you to believe that you were all wrapped up in slavery. You didn't do anything. You were beat the hell out of for 400 years. They want you to believe you were victims. They don't want you to believe that you fought back from the very inception when they picked you up to the time you got here until generations after you fought. They don't want you to believe that a lot of black people were in trades and had trades and everything and purchased their way to freedom and built towns and cities. Chicago would not have been built. Washington, D.C. would not have been built. I would say they were slaves. But freedmen, the railroads here in Atlanta was built by freed men, black men, and some slaves. But they were free people that worked for the railroad even before the Civil War. If y'all know me by now, check my, Google it up, check me. You know what I'm saying? And then, that's a white man thing. You don't see anything. No. Google it up and research it. Go further than that and research, and you'll find out that I don't make stuff up. Anything I say about our people and what they were able to accomplish and do in spite of slavery, in spite of racism and segregation, to know the truth. The truth will set you free. And what Marcus Garvey said, that those that don't know their history is like a tree without roots. In Atlanta, you see what happens with a tree without roots. They get every first wind come where they get blowed down. They get blowed all over the place. They get any story that come in. You don't stay, It's just amazing of how many things come out, and we want to rise up in consciousness, and then we ignore the obvious. We want to ignore what needs to be done. And that is to take control over our communities, our own destiny. Part of 10-point Black Panther program, right? And the other thing is, try it one more time, Eve, I'll let you in. The other thing is to stop U.S. wars of aggression from all over the world. Now, we've entered into these wars of aggression, and we killing. They don't even tell you how many people that they're dying over there. They're killing. I'm talking about innocent people. I'm not talking about the so-called terrorists. They don't even give you a number of terrorists. Why? Because there's not many terrorists. If there's a million terrorists, that wouldn't be a big number. If that even it might be tens of thousands of terrorists. There's any that much, right? It might be enough terrorists to fill up, Georgia State College. I don't know. It's that many. So what does that mean? That means is that we have to stop listening to the bull and the false media, and actually use our intelligence, right? Use our investigating ability, use your logic and reasoning. What is the cost of this? Why are people doing this? What would happen? What would happen to you if they destroyed your family? Would you fight back? Probably, maybe no. A lot of us wouldn't fight back. We just had to go with it. And, we had to pray. Or would you try to stand up for your family? Would you try to stand up for your loss? You know what I mean? Or would you accept that? Well, a lot of people don't accept that around the world. They fight back. You know what I mean? And it's not that they don't like the way of our living. They don't like for us to tell them how to live. Oh, the Muslims shouldn't do that. They shouldn't tell the woman this, and those Muslims. And right here, you got the President of the United States done molested women, done been out there broadcasting about putting their hand up women's crouches, and he been accused of all that. The President of the United States. And you ignoring that, but you talking about a woman wearing a hijab, a head covering, right? Or even covering her face. That should be, in my opinion, should be the woman's decision of how much or what she covers. But there is things in the Quran that a man and woman have to cover themselves. Man and woman, not just a woman. A man has to cover himself to a certain extent, right? From the knees down to his belly button. A woman from her neck down to her ankles. And then you see all these dresses and everything. Well, what about the women that worked out in the fields, that worked in factories and stuff like that? How they going to dress? Well, they're going to dress modestly and they going to dress safely, And so we got to stop looking at TV and really rest. Well, so how's that happen? How's that work? Well, it works. It's been working for years, some centuries, for decades, for 1,000-some years. But what we see is, what we want to see is the wealthy here in Saudi Arabia. Then some of us want to emulate that thing, that we go to the wives going to sit at home, in their couches and everything. We have service for them, and these millions of dollars. That ain't happening here, bro. Even Kufi is not even, it's not necessarily Islam. That's a cultural thing. Y'all understand different culture, but it makes sense that Islam is a logical religion. It takes a sense. The Quran speaks of logic and sense, intelligence, not just to run blindly and haul wild. So get it straight, because what you do is, and just like we do as Black Panther sometimes, some of the Black Panther groups, we have people looking in us at a way that is not productive, right? They got people that, a prestigious group that monitor the racist activities so far. Now they seem to be dealing more with black people than anything, than the Ku Klux Klan, people out there killing people or having people assassinated or drugged and behind cars. They seem to be more involved, or getting people going out there killing people in high schools and stuff, in schools. They seem to be more involved with the black people that go around pumping their fists and talking about hating and killing white folk. They call them a hate group and a terror group. Well, look, I hate to tell y'all this, the Black Panther Party ain't never been about this. Now, I don't know what happened after 1984. But let me tell you something, right? I was a young man in there in the Black Panther. I was a teenager. They weren't about that. They were about building programs and showing love to the community. They were about actually getting people to vote and register people to vote, and vote people that represent you, not only look like you. Now, see, that's what's important, right? That's what's important to know, right? So how do you gain control of your dominant community? We had to get rid of drugs. You get rid of all that craziness stuff. You had to bring education. You had to supplement education, right? We allow the schools to educate our children, and then we want to supplement. Then we want to talk about black history. Well, whatever history they're going to give us is going to be accredited. Even our PhD scholars, they are accredited, from an accreditation board. So even there are intelligent slaves or intelligent people that are trained to be good employees and be good educators in that perspective. Our psychologists are being trained in a perspective that doesn't fit our profile and what is happening with us, right? That doesn't fit us, right? So, that doesn't fit us at all. But so anyway, that's what the things that we are trying to work with, and things that we're trying to deal with here in the Black Panther Liberation Front. And the Liberation Front, understand, liberation means that this is the change. That is direct change of what's currently happening to us, or we're currently warring with, right? And that is the oppressor. So, since we're involved in Liberation Front, we decide the front is to be at the very fight of the battle, right? Is to step out in front of everybody and take the first brunt of the battle, or bring the battle to the oppressor, bring the war or the change to the oppressor. It's not sitting back, speculating and instigating and debating. It is now that you are decided to be part of the Black Panther Liberation Front. You have decided that, yes, it is time for a change. It is a time to stop the oppressor's activity and do what? Go to the front, right? Go to the front of the battle and to fight, But again, I've been talking all night, and I'm sorry that we had problems earlier. and people ran off and then come back, So anyway, it is what it is. You know what I mean? And you know, now I'll be wondering, boy, if I be out there in Front Street and look around behind me when things get hot, who's going to be there? Who's going to eat? Well, it's one thing that going into the battle, right? Battles get hot, I guess, and I know, and then sometimes people gonna run. But hey, after you run and get yourself back together, and you gonna come back and join the fight, or you gonna stay out of it? Are you going to, something shamed you, embarrass you? You're going to turn your back on it, Well, hey, that's life. Things happen, right? But anyway, I am sorry for all the inconvenience that we had again, Lo siento, and, it's been a night. It's been a night, right? And we talked about a lot of important things. We started off anyway, and we ran all kind of malfunctions, but inshallah, God willing, that, next Monday between 7 and 9, we're going to really do better. I'm really liking now, since we got everything, some of the bugs kicked out, I'm really liking this. I think this is going to really be a hell of a show, from now on moving forward. And you're going to see my banners up there, the Black Panther Liberation Front banner. And we're going to be talking about different things we're going to be doing coming up in the near future. And that's what it's all about, right? Anyway. Power to the people, and I hope all of y'all do well and sleep well. And remember, let's take the fight to the front. Let's not stay behind and strategize where we're going to put everybody, where the unity is, who's going to do what. Let's go take it to the battle. Let's take the battle up front. Let's go and make it happen. Let's go, let's go say, who just came on? Who just came on who?
Eva.
Hey, Eva, how you doing? Glad to hear from you, right? Okay. Well, at least you came back. Everybody ran off and left me. Well, Eva, since you my second guest, but the first one to be heard. We were talking about, earlier we were talking about the woman being hung. That's what I'm sorry. So, and you were investigating. I'm not talking no more about the gentleman that was beat up in Henry County, the football player. But have you been keeping up with some? I know you're down there in Albany. What's going on in Albany, number one? Let me talk about your neck of the woods. What's going down in Albany? What is it looking like?
Oh, God. It's mostly here. It's not so more police brutality against the black people here. Mm-hmm. Dealing in this area, it's more of black-on-black crime. And with the kids and education, young parents, not stepping up to the plate, being mothers like they should, you know what I'm saying? And with the gangs and guns and shootings, and it's just more of the crime rate has starting to increase now. Since the summer's getting ready to kick off and kids are getting ready to get out of school. It was just the episode that went on just a few days ago of a close friend of mine, grown people being not grown, getting into children affairs and taking upon themselves to join in on what's going on. And it was a situation to where gunplay was involved. And a dear friend of mine ended up getting shot. So this is where we're going here. So it's more or less like with the young people there are no guidance in the homes at all, no disciplinary, no type of figure of positivity in some of the families in the community. And so that's what we're dealing with here.
Okay, that sounds like what's going on. I think this is going to be one of those summers, right? And I was talking to our commander in the recruiting department, Miss Atkinson, and I was telling it just looked like one of them summers. It was like happened in the 70s or something, the late 60s and 70s. It's just like it started out there in Watts. It was the Watts riot. Then they were rioting in Detroit and then Chicago. And then, Houston and Dallas. I don't know. Some of you guys correct me with that, too. Oh, and by the way, I've been talking about the chairman up there, the Black Panther chairman up there in Milwaukee, who was up there going to community. That was Chairman King Rick. And my apologies, King Rick. It wasn't, somebody else said, I got the wrong information. But anyway, it's my bad. Yeah, you're right. See, that's something that we have to do. That's what we're going to try to do. Inshallah, we're going to be doing in Atlanta. We're going to go into communities and trying to work with let them see something different. Try to provide a different environment. Let those that are not involved with the stupidity get home safely. Let women and children get home safely. Let husbands get home safely, right? Let's stop some of this drive-by shooting and stuff like that. There's ways to do that.
That's what happened yesterday. They went out and had activities at the park, and a couple of my Facebook friends had come in and said, "Dog, this Mother's Day, and we're out here just at the park having fun, chilling out, and they want to start shooting." Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because kids now, they're not able to be children. Mm-hmm. They have to be confined to their home. Mm-hmm. So what else do they have? They don't have no recreation. They don't have anything to do, nothing positive to do. Uh-huh. So they're going to get out here in the streets. They're going to get out here in mischief because they want to feel love. They want that attention and affection that the parents, in which they are young, they're not giving it to them. So this is the repercussions of what's going on within the home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a big point there too, because that spills over into the neighborhood. That spills over in the community, right? And that brings about hate and distrust, right? So we start calling the police, and then we look at something happening. We say, I know what he was doing, right? But anyway, that you're absolutely correct. What we have to do is work with these children, right? And we have to educate the parents. Because that's another thing. There's a lot of young parents out here. They didn't have the opportunity to have sometimes having a mother, a grandmother that was more interested in trying to raise their children in the way that it was done in the past. Try to give them some substance, giving them some responsibility, emotional support, and stop going out there. I guess some of the pops got there trying to chase the same girls that his son's going after, and the mom trying to chase the same man that is chasing their daughter. You know what I mean? Some lecherous human being, right? And then just to seeing the way some of these, it is really horrible. I'm not tyrannical, but it's horrible the way you see some of these young girls dressed up. I mean, if you don't know any better, and the girls kind of built, right? And you don't know any better, you don't know how old a girl is. And she wearing these little short mini skirts and stuff like that, or she wearing holes in her pants, or have a breast exposed and a belly exposed and all like that, and whatever. The nails done, the eyelash and stuff. You don't know you know what you're looking at until you have to really look at the kid, And then you want to say, what the hell what's the thinking here? What is the thinking? And then, then they're going to blame the poor child as soon as she get pregnant, right? 12, 13, 14 years old. And then, maybe she'll have 4, 5, 6 babies by the time she gets to be, I don't know, in her 20s or something, and then she done. The oldest kid get to work, and everybody, and she get back out and I got to have my life. I can't have my life in here. Wow. It's just a whole new different way of thinking. And I really, I'm not hard-headed. I really feel for people in that position, that situation. I really do. What people have to go through, because, everybody had to go through their thing. Everybody's put a little burden on their shoulder they have to deal with. But, it's up to the community. The community has to do something for our people and our kids, right? We have to be educated the right thing to do, how to get jobs, or how to have your own business, or how to build, or how to get people in office that represent you. You know what I mean? And that's number one, to represent you. And how do you do that? How do you get your community safe where you don't have to worry about your own children and all that? How do you get that? How do you get your community safe? How do you get your, those are things that can be done. And how do you get the police from killing everybody when they come in, right? Now we have a little of both. We had 11 police shootings in 2 weeks, 11 officer-involved shooting in the last 2 weeks. And women getting beat by cops and everything. But yes, there's a lot of stuff going in the community, drive-by shootings and everything. And I'm concerned about that, That's something that's tangible, I can get a hold to, you know what I mean? I can work with, and I can get empowered so people can fight back. Well, anyway, hey, I appreciate you calling in, Miss Eva, and be blessed.
Thank you.
We're gonna call it a wrap tonight. We're gonna go and talk it off a couple minutes early because this has been a hell of a night. And I appreciate you calling back and hanging in there with me, right? You know, not running. Everybody ran off and left me. But it's gonna be all good, you know. All power to the people, you know. We all gonna do what we need to do, God willing. And again, this has been the Black Panther Liberation Front show, and you can see us, inshallah, God willing, on Monday nights between 7 and 9 o'clock p.m. And we have real intelligent and powerful things to talk about. Now we're in the Atlanta area. So we're going to be talking about a lot of things in Atlanta because, as you know, even though we hear these big stories, I know, fool, I've been around. I know all these big stories that happen here and there and yonder in your town, you know, in Jackson, Mississippi, you know, Mobile, Alabama, Green Bay, Alabama, Greenbow, Alabama, whatever, you know, upstate New York, Rochester, you know, Schenectady, wherever, Jersey, Camden, you know, Elizabeth City, wherever you go, whatever town you live in, you have a problem. Aurora, Colorado, 5th Ward in Denver, you have a problem. 4th Ward in Atlanta, you have a problem. And the problem seems to be something that looks you straight in the face. I know we've been talking about, let me get this right now, the LBGTQQIP. All right, I think that's the whole smorgasbord of letters, right? You know, it's funny that they worked hard not to be put in a box, and now they got all these little nice little convenient boxes for everybody neatly placed. What the hell is P? I think it was pansexual. It's like, hey, I asked somebody what it was, and they actually researched. We got research what it was. It'd be whatever it is, whatever sex that you want. That's pansexual. Whatever you gonna do, that's everything, and then you know some more. Wow. And now we got anyway. So what's the problem in your area? What is the problem that you're facing primarily in your city? I don't care if you're living among in $1 million places and multi-million-dollar places with these nice white people and all like that, right? You still got a problem. Your kids, if you got kids, they got a problem. You know what that problem is? And even if you gay, you got a problem. If you straight, you got a problem. If you enter the LBGTQQIP, you know, you got this. You know what problem you got? Y'all. You're black. Power to the people. Looking forward to seeing you again. And we're going to have this thing straight next week. Trust me, God willing, right? You know, we're going to be back with more information, and we're going to try to educate on what we need to be doing in our world to help our people, right? That's what's most important. I'm not trying to change the mind of white people. I'm trying to change the mind of the black man. If you could change the mind of the black man, he can help himself and create solutions. All power to the people. I think everybody hung up. Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, a lot of people jumped back on that.
Yeah. Oh, they did? Oh, good. Oh, that's, oh, God. That's good. How many people jumped back on your station?
Is that your station?
Okay.
Turn it up. It's the Black Panther Liberation Front Show on WIGO, Atlanta's incredible radio. Power to the people.
Oh, I think you still got your, Let me go to it. So go to,